Welcome back to my channel, Star Booze.
In the middle of 2024, at an art event in London, unexpectedly, Johnny Depp made a declaration that caught the attention of the media. The woman he called was confirmed in public. My life's greatest love following a string of loud marriage-related lawsuits. Greetings from the program. Okay, let's begin with that shocking news. From the United States has experienced a decision in a trial that millions of people saw globally. A Virginia jury has discovered that she was defamed by Amber Heard. Former spouse Johnny Depp. This statement generated a lot of controversy because of the name of the woman in question. Additionally, the focus is shifting to the longest friendship with this endearing leading man ever had. To review what individuals could missed. Who is this woman really? Don't pass this up, as we're going to tell that tale right now. Johnny in June 1998, Depp met Vanessa Paradis in Paris, while Roman was being filmed The Ninth Gate in Polansk. Indeed, Mr. Coro, how did you discover me, my God? You're correct. Naturally, I'm not worried about friendships in the least. In addition to the millennia of knowledge they have, I am aware of individuals who would kill for such a collection. Heaven. Then, a well-known vocalist and a French actress went to a party, hosted by friends who share a common interest. French media mentioned Depp's observation of her from the first encounter, and only a couple weeks, they later made an appearance together in public. The partnership soon drew, both kept a public interest, but stringent guidelines for reducing media exposure during the course of their years collectively. Over the course of their 14-year relationship, Johnny, Vanessa Paradis, and Depp never had outing ceremony, yet time and time again confirmed they didn't require documentation to confirm their connection. Depp referred to her as the only person who makes me want is my lover. To return home. They had 2 kids. Lily Rose. Depp was created in 1999, who is currently an actress and model working in France and the United States, and son. The third, Jack John. Depp was born in 2002, who liked to lead a quiet life in Europe. The family would switch between their southern residence in France and a Los Angeles private residence, Angeles. In interviews conducted between 2003 and 2010, Depp brought up Paradis, several times using polite language, on Oprah. In the 2004 Winfrey program, he made it apparent that Vanessa is my true love. A year afterwards, when questioned about the relationship, required a formal wedding, Depp merely responded, "We don't need the piece of paper. She is my wife, and I am her spouse. Wife." These quotes were taken from prominent journals like People for Many, Vanity Fair, and The Guardian years as proof of unusual stability in Depp's romantic life. The time he spent with, additionally, Paradis was associated with the most steady time in Depp's career. This was his role in the Pirates of the Caribbean 2003 and 2011 Caribbean television series, and won numerous Oscars and Golden Globe suggestions. During formal interviews, Depp frequently stated that possessing my family helped me stay grounded through everything. By the end of 2011, media started to wonder why the two weren't seen together for a longer time. In June of 2012, Depp's official representative verified the split. The parades went on, residing in France with their 2 kids, and Depp went into a new chapter in the United States. Both kept their consent to share parenting obligations and no public funds. 10 years later, disagreements were noted. The division. Vanessa Paradis is still there. The sole woman to whom Johnny Depp has made reference to use expressions such as the love of my life, or the one that cannot be replaced. July 2024 AT. His one-man show, which is called A Lot of Things in London, Depp presented a painting for the very first time, referred to as the Empress. Not long after, the painting was verified by specialists to be based on Vanessa's facial characteristics parody. The French press cited a brief Depp's remarks during the ceremony, "She's my life's greatest love." This alive statement was shown on the Art's television channel and swiftly disseminated throughout global news platforms. Even though they are no longer alive, together and have hardly ever been seen together. For many years in the public eye, Vanessa Paradis continues to be the sole name connected to that unique comment. Additionally, this was since 2012. This is the first time Johnny Depp declared in public what had previously been regarded as the most durable relationship in his personal life. Correct, let's now reflect on the history of this endearing leading man to comprehend how strong that statement really is. From an unruly upbringing to a worldwide on June 9th, Johnny Depp, an icon, was born in Owensboro, Kentucky in 1963. As his father, the youngest of 4 siblings, one government servant was John Christopher Depp, engineer. But Betty Sue, his mother, Wells was a waitress by trade. The household moved around a lot when he was a kid, following their arrival at Miramar, Florida in 1970. His parents separated when Depp was only 15 years old in 1978. Following he became intoxicated due to emotional stress and narcotics, dropping out of school at 16 to pursue a career in music. In his early years, Depp was a member of the Los Angeles band The Kids, playing in pubs throughout town. Because life was unpredictable, he frequently had to live off-site and sleep at friends' houses, occupations. He wed Lori Ann in 1983, Allison, the individual who subsequently presented Nicolas Cage to Depp. Cage was the one who urged him to try out, which resulted in his initial chance in the movie A Elm Street Nightmare, 1984. However, it was a minor part, enabling Depp to get into Hollywood and become a face of interest. Between 1987 and 1990, Depp was a star of the TV show 21. His time on Jump Street made him an American teen idol. Even though he soon rose to stardom, he freely stated an ease with being stereotyped and rejected a lot of business ventures. Edward Scissorhands was the next person he picked. 1990. The movie that served as his debut cooperation with Tim Burton, the director, and began a new stage in his professional life. In the 1990s and the first part of the 2000s, Johnny Depp established a reputation as an autonomous artist, selecting roles, according to Bast on individual standards rather than a box office possibility. Movies such as Donnie Brasco Las Vegas, Fear and Loathing, 1997 Blow, 2001, and 1998 showed his adaptability in a variety of genres. At the time, Depp was intimately related to possessing a party lifestyle, drawing in notice by means of his connection with Kate Moss and several court cases. The year 2003 was the most significant turning point. Depp's portrayal of Jack Sparrow in Pirates Caribbean, the Black People's Curse Pearl. The movie wasn't only commercially prosperous but also transformed the role he played into a worldwide emblem of culture. Depp was given his first nomination for an Oscar and proceeded to play Jack Sparrow in the following 4 payments, supporting the franchise generate almost $45 billion in total revenue. The years 2003-2012 were furthermore when Vanessa and Johnny Depp shared a home. The most stable period is thought to be parody. Throughout his life, in numerous interviews, he acknowledged that having a family was beneficial to him, overcome his previous addictions, and uphold mental equilibrium in the midst of a hectic work surroundings. Apart from The Pirate, he also starred in the movie Finding Charlie with the Neverland crew in 2004, Sweeney and Chocolate Factory, 2005, Todd, 2007. All received praise from critics. Functions. Depp established the manufacturing firm Infinitum Nihil, subsequently growing inside 2 movies in 2021. The side projects he developed were mostly creative or biographical works, like Minamata 2020, where he played the role of photographer Dubayu. Smith, Eugene. when Johnny Depp was despite having experienced numerous changes, sustained influence over time. However, upon arriving at the summit, it was his private life that maintained his reputation consistently in the news later years, starting with a union that spent just 2 years with Amber. Heard. Suits that trembled Hollywood. Amber Heard met Johnny Depp when they both starred in the 2009 The Rum Diary movie. The partnership did not start right away after that, but by the time Depp's formally split up in 2012 from Paradis, Vanessa, he and Heard were observed dating. Their partnership swiftly became a focus of the media, particularly when Depp, who was then over 50, made a public appearance with an actress for over 2 decades, younger during important occasions. February, they had an intimate wedding in 2015 at Depp's Los Angeles residence, then another ceremony on his own island, the Bahamas. However, the marriage lasted for just 15 months. May of 2016. After filing for divorce, Amber Heard asked for a restraining order, claiming abuse that occurred during their time collectively. The case spread right away throughout the world's media. Images of the wounds supplied by Heard, in addition to her press articles written by anonymous sources, pushed Johnny Depp into the public eye. Even though he categorically denied the accusations, the effect on his reputation started to become evident. In 2018, Amber Heard penned an opinion piece for The Washington Post, who identified herself as indicative of domestic violence survivors. Despite the fact that no name was stated, the piece was extensively said to be a reference to Johnny Depp. After a year, he formally submitted a Heard was sued for defamation in the U.S., requesting damages of $50 million. At the same time, Depp filed a lawsuit against Sun UK because you called him a wife-beater. In that instance, goes to trial in 2020 in London, while Amber Heard's team in the UK trial 14 abuse claims were made. The judge determined that 12 of them were verified. Johnny Depp lost as a result. The matter and was mandated to reimburse everyone legal fees right away. He was compelled to leave the fantastic Warner Bros. Beast series. Even though he had only finished a portion of his role, his Hollywood film career was essentially halted indefinitely from that indicate the future. It continued. There. April 2022. The court case between the USA's Depp and Heard in Virginia. Formally started and continued for 6 weeks. Live-streamed every day, the trial attracted millions of views on the internet, turning become one of the closest observed court cases in contemporary history. Evidence was submitted by both parties, records, communications, and conflicting witnesses. Among the most crucial components were that Winona Ryder and Depp's previous long-term partner, Vanessa Paradis partners, provided written evidence, verifying he had never been aggressive in their partnerships. In June on January 1st, 2022, the jury decided in favor of Johnny Depp. The court found that Amber Heard had behaved maliciously in disparaging him and directing her to make a $35 million in total, later lowered to a private settlement of $1 million between the two people. Depp said no, the funds, and completely transferred them to non-profit institutions. Hearing following the court's decision to withdraw from social media and made Spain their new home. The trial in 2022 was regarded as a significant pivotal moment in the history of Hollywood, and the public assesses the problem of abuse in celebrity connections. Despite, though opinions differed, most public it was believed that Johnny Depp had earned his medal again after being branded negatively. However, he did not return to big-budget U.S. film projects. Following the court's decision, Depp said that he desired to distance himself from commercials that highlight music and individual artwork. The case also resulted in numerous media organizations should reconsider their original coverage. Several significant platforms include Deadline and The Independent, acknowledged posting headlines that aren't balanced prior the ultimate decision. on social media. Several of the trial's clips were exchanged, performed, and even ignited broad patterns during that summer time. Video shows Depp leaving the Virginia courthouse and obtaining applause from the many present became a scene that was played, again and over on TV in America for Johnny Depp. The A-court triumph marked the end of the trial, although the price was almost 6 years away. Approved Hollywood productions in addition to many financial and emotional consequences. Since then, he's decided to avoid the United States and restore his representation in Europe, where he is not assigned midst of the same political disputes as in his native country. New avenues following outstanding chaos. Following the court cases Victory in 2022, Johnny Depp started to stay away from the media entirely. Appearances and events related to the film industry in America. In 2023, he didn't show up in any significant Hollywood initiatives and instead moved to London, emphasizing visual and musical artistic. Regarding music, he went on Hollywood, a rock band, playing vampires with seasoned members like as Joe Perry and Alice Cooper. The group carried out a tour of Europe during the 2023's first half, including pauses in London, Milan, Hamburg, and Amsterdam. Additionally, Depp put out a collaborative record within January. Jeff Beck passed away. 2023, this was their last joint venture, including recordings produced between 2020 and 2022, and it was well appreciated. Critics praised its inventiveness as well as technical excellence. Interestingly, in July, Johnny Depp had a solo art show in 2024, a bunch of stuff, an exhibition at London's Castle Fine Art Gallery. Additionally, Depp's private life in Europe attracted significant focus. Since 2021, he'd been spotted with Julia several times. Russian makeup artist and model Blisova, 35 years his junior, as an artist. The two people went to the Karlovy Movie Festival, were seen on camera in London, Hellport, and they both showed up at Anne Prague performance. But following that, the relationship was explained as not committing. Vloba verified on social media that I really admired Depp but chose not to respond to private affairs. Apart from Vlova, additionally, Johnny Depp was said to be in a romantic relationship with two other women following Amber Heard's divorce. The Joel Rich, a lawyer, came first, represented him in the lawsuit filed in 2020 in the United Kingdom. The pair was spotted together multiple times in 2028 and 2021. However, neither verified a romantic connection. The Russian dancer, Polina Glenn, came in second. She allegedly dated Depp in 2019. However, the romance ended abruptly because to cultural disparities and incompatibilities, degrees of celebrity. Not one of these relationships have been formally Depp. Acknowledged it, but he hasn't appeared in public with anyone since 2022. Depp stays in touch with his Lily Rose Depp's daughter. She is an up-and-coming actress and model with a prominent part in the HBO series The Doll. They saw the father and daughter together in 2023 during a movie screening in Canada. In Elle, Lily Rose once said, "My father recognizes the importance of quiet, and I honor that." Regarding his youngest Jack Depp, his son, presently resides in France alongside his mom and has mainly avoided getting involved in the entertainment industry. Nothing suggests that Johnny Depp plans to visit the American studio again. System. His delegates have refused to comment on the potential of rejoining Warner or Disney My Brothers. His latest motion picture endeavors, Jean Dubarry's historical drama directed by Maïwenn, a French director. Depp portrays King Louis the Fashionine. The movie made its debut at the 2023 Cannes, viewed as a film festival and a change in strategy toward the European market that has less of an impact on popular opinion in America. After several years enmeshed in relationships and lawsuits examined in great depth by the media, Johnny Depp has made the decision to fully disengage from the media landscape in America. No talk show appearances, no interviews, and hardly any social media activity presence. Depp currently leads a peaceful and private life while he is in Europe, restoring everything, including his job and his reputation in his own unique manner. Post The Life of Hollywood. By 2025, numerous sources estimate Depp's net worth, sources that vary from 48 to 150 USD 1 million. The disparity results from major changes in the economy during the period of 2016 to 2022, including legal costs, individual expenditures, and disagreements with his defunct management firm. However, Depp's income has been steady. Streamed through his endorsement agreement with Dior Sauvage is thought to be the most effective advertising for men's fragrances in history, as well as financial investments in the arts, rights to music, and images. Depp, at the moment, inhabits a rental house in London's West End, an area known for transformed into a shared living space as well as a private art studio. Furthermore, he owns a number of significant assets, particularly a 15-hectare ancient settlement, in aunts mentioned for 63 in southern France USD million, but subsequently kept as Apravit Haven. Depp is the owner as well of an exclusive Bahamas island, which he frequently goes to avoid the media pay attention. He has most recently been said to be constructing a new villa in Rocha, Serbia, close to the tennis estate Novak Djokovic, the player. The residence is created with consideration for the environment plan to be finished by the end of 2025, which includes solar power systems and an organic garden that is completely enclosed. Johnny Depp's current private life is characterized as completely private. Since he has not filed for divorce from Amber Heard. Validated any new romantic partnership. But European media have consistently observed Depp with a Russian model and artist Julia Vlova. Initially, they first encountered at the Karlo Vary Film Festival in 2021 and subsequently appeared together in Prague and London. However, both parties opted not to respond, and Depp did not accompany her to any official occasion. In terms of his family, Depp keeps a strong bond with his daughter. Currently, Lily Rose Depp is an active actress and model who works in both France and the United States. She openly defended her father during a difficult time, widespread censure, declaring that, "My father is someone who appreciates quiet, and he taught me that." His younger son, Paris-based Jack Depp, is the head of A Personal Life, now employed at Apravit Eatery, and stays completely away from the spotlight. As an artist, Johnny Depp keeps collaborate with the Hollywood Vampires band with Joe Perry and Alice Cooper. The group is getting ready for a European tour, Ditat Late Night Tour 2025, signaling their comeback following postponements because of the pandemic and individual explanations. Furthermore, Depp performed a solo London art show in the middle of 2024 containing a number of symbols paintings of portraits, such as the Empress, a composition that attracted notice for its likeness to parodies of Vanessa. Interestingly, he is now leading a biopic about Amado Modigliani, a painter slated for publication in 2026. With this initiative, DP is making its first comeback to directing for more than 20 years with entirely autonomous funding and team from sources throughout Europe. Numerous experts think of this as an aligning direction, perfectly with his present fashion sense. Low-key, non-commercial, yet full of imaginative depth. Following over 30 years in Johnny Depp and the entertainment business independently reshaping his career, phrases. Besides being a movie star, Johnny Depp has been acknowledged as a pop cultural symbol. The persona of Jack Sparrow, not just in Pirates of the Caribbean, generated billions of dollars for Disney, yet also became an emblem connected to the creative vision of a whole generation. Despite being taken out of the sequels to the franchise, the character he produced remnants seen in theme parks, goods, as well as in popular culture memes. For several years, Depp was a notable aspect of the non-formulaic filmmaker. Respected by both viewers and colleagues in the profession, Johnny Depp's influence on culture goes beyond limits of entertainment. He was twice. People named him the sexiest man alive. Magazine was featured in hundreds of high rankings and emerged as renowned for his free-spirited style as well as bohemian fashion. By 2025. Despite not being at his surge in sales, Johnny Depp's name continues to be a phenomenon with enduring resonance, demonstrating the notion that an artist may be authentic and still leave a strong legacy. What are your thoughts on Johnny Depp's as the headline making a statement? Tell us your opinions in the comment section following this video. Remember to subscribe and activate alerts to receive our most recent developments.